It's kind of the same thing as just doing it live. Like, oh, he's talking, go to him.
Exactly.
Oh,
I think that's what like JRE does. I think
that's what Jamie's doing. Yeah,
Jamie's able to do it live.
He's just going from camera to camera.
And it doesn't have to be super professional to the point.
I think I told you the one that they did recently. I think it was the Sober October recap where there's 4 of them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Man, he's just like...
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
He's like on point. And
even when he was getting the guys on the scales.
One of the comments was talking about like, damn, Jamie with the directing skills. Jesus.
Shout out to Jamie. It must be a hard job. Like, especially having to readjust the cameras.
There's a Reddit subgroup called Praise the Cameraman, and it's clips, these awesome clips where like the cameraman is just like killing it, just perfect, like a ball, and he's like perfectly following it and getting everything in the shot.
Jeez.
And then I think Jamie was one of the posts for that.
Of course.
Like praise the cameraman because he's just fucking on
click,
it.
Click. It's we're kind of lucky that it doesn't need to be like super tailored, like directed to the point that like I need to catch every time that you talk. Yeah. Like I can have it switch back and forth, and plus I have the overhead one as well, exactly, right? Yeah. So it's not too bad. So that part of it doesn't get judged too much. It just adds. I don't know what it does, but it adds something to the show. I feel it like when I watch it every now and then.
Some sort of psychology thing.
Don't know what it is. You add 2 more cameras and enjoyment goes up slightly. Like it adds to the value. That's all it is, right? Mm-hmm. And even these.
Yeah, these are dope.
And they're so easy. Yeah, none of this shit no more. I can
the stiff shit.
I can kick all I want. I can get up. Even when I have guests, like I have drinks and shit in there. So it's just easy to just, what do you want?
Oh yeah, nice. Just 2 cups there at all.
Exactly. just 2 cups.
You're just missing some whiskey right there.
Oh, do you want me to open the door?
Whiskey right there.
you want
there you go.
Exactly. We got fucking beer and all that shit in there.
Peaky Blinders, by the way.
Oh my God.
So I'm on episode 3 of season 3. This is not a spoiler. Don't worry. But 80, I'd say at least 80, probably closer to 85 to 90% of all scenes involve smoking and drinking whiskey.
Of course.
I don't...
They're that gangster
like, I
all the
remember
time.
like going through like halfway through season 2, I'm like, holy, like every fucking scene, like Cillian Murphy's lungs are probably fucked up from filming as Thomas Shelby. He's smoking in every scene.
I know.
Every scene he's pulling out a cigarette in a match and lighting it. And I love how the scene, it rarely starts with him already smoking. Like they always show him pulling one out and lighting it and smoking all the time, constantly. And they're always drinking whiskey.
Pretty much everywhere in that show seems like it's smoky somehow. Oh, yeah. Whether it's from smoke from somebody's cigarettes, but even like the atmosphere that they're in, it just seems steam from like industry warehouses and all that type of shit.
There's smoke in every scene.
It's
gotta
weird.
Be done on purpose. Yeah,
it's an effect of theirs to have people to come back to the show. But yeah, like just having that ease of the alcohol and shit too. Like the RG one was pretty cool. I'm not sure if you got to catch that. I want you to listen to it just to critique my ass in a sense. Yeah, the one thing I have listened to it back again, and I hate listening to myself.
I can't.
Like I highly doubt you ever go back and listen to these, right?
Because I already know the content, and I'm not gonna listen to me. I hate it.
That too, but like I'm trying to look at it more as like a critiquing for myself. Like I want to study myself in a bit and see what I can do to improve. The one thing that I find that I did a lot in that podcast, and hopefully I didn't do in the Fernando Proches one that comes out in a couple days, is interrupt people. Like I like to laugh and I like to like enjoy the content that I'm hearing just from the other person, but I feel like I'm jumping in too much while they're talking and cutting off their train of thought. You know what I mean? Like I know other people get critiqued for it too. I think Shab is kind of like fucking like constant, right? Like I don't want to be that guy.
With him though, it's like he hasn't really thought out his question before he starts speaking.
Yeah.
So now he's trying to find the words in the right order. And then he pauses, then they start to jump in, and then it's like he figures out a better way, then shoots back in.
To a certain extent, I kind of understand that, just to the fact that like you don't know whether if you should be digging a little bit deeper into the topic that's actually at hand, or should you be transitioning to another one now, right? But I'm trying to go into every conversation that I have with a guest or you or whoever the fuck it is, even the people that I have on the Lockcast come on every now and then through Skype, is to like, no, are we gonna go deeper into that topic, or are we gonna go into another one? I feel like I'm getting better at that.
Yeah,
we'll see.
100%.
Fuck.
If you're trying to figure out what you're doing wrong, then you'd only get better.
Exactly. And that I thought it would be weird to listen to myself over and over again, but I'm like, okay, if you go through it with an analytical state of mind rather than an enjoyment state of mind, then you can actually make things a little bit better. I want you to see the RG one, because have you met RG? I feel like you've been to the gym.
I've been to the gym, but I swear it was only when like after hours.
Oh, yeah. We
just
went to go
worked
spar
out.
and shit,
Yeah,
right? Just for
you
fun.
taught me how to box essentially
Yeah.
a bit.
Yeah. It wasn't anything
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, he's just like this super charismatic, like Jamaican dude that grew up in Montreal. And his brothers are like super high level boxers in the Canadian boxing
Oh,
scene.
okay.
Like they fought like Roy Jones Jr. They fought a couple other guys, but they like when you think about Canadian boxing, these are the guys that kind of got Grant brothers. It's kind of what they're known as. So then he had an amateur career, boxed a little bit, kept getting injured, but stayed around the scene. And rival boxing. If you see that logo up there of the gloves, that looks familiar, right? It's actually a Canadian guy, Russ Amber, who ended up coaching RG for a bit. He ended up making that brand, and then RG just started coaching and like fucking. He has MMA guys now. He came in like when MMA was booming in Toronto. Him, Neil, and all those guys opened up that Grants MMA, and they kind of exploited that market. In that it peaked heavily around then, right? Remember when UFC was just getting big in Toronto and everybody was going psycho about it. So they managed to maintain enough of the core group of members that they can keep the gym running. But there's been so many gyms that have come and gone in the industry. It's fucking nuts. It's a hard business to run because you're not charging like a Good Life membership, right? You're charging 35 to $40 for a gym membership, roughly. The one that I go to, I'm lucky, I'm paying like 20 to $24 a month. It's not that bad. But to go to a gym that has specialized training like that, the premium is so much higher. But that's the standard industry.
It's way higher. It's very expensive.
Industry standard. Why the fuck did I say that? But yeah.
It's like what is it, like $80 a month if you sign a 1-year contract?
Closer to $100.
Okay, yeah, and that's if you buy the year up front.
Yeah.
You have to buy the year up front. Otherwise, if it's like, I remember the other gym, the Dog Pound MMA. I remember that was like there was a 6-month rate.
Yes,
and then there was a 3-month, and then a month-to-month.
Yeah,
the month-to-month was like $120 a month.
Oh yeah,
it was like it's a
I think ours was like 150-ish.
So then, if you can't really commit to doing at least like 3 classes a week, it doesn't feel like you're getting
exactly
your money's worth, right? So
it's a fun workout, but I'm lucky at the gym that I have, the regular gym I go to, they have boxing punching bags.
Yeah, okay.
So like I'll go do a little bit of weights and then I'll go hit the bag for like 12 rounds or something. Nice. That's how I put my cardio in rather than going to run. I used to like running. I don't like it as much anymore.
I hate running. I've always hated
running.
Just
burn a little bit before hitting the bag and just fucking go nuts. Like not go nuts, but like pretend you're fighting somebody. Pretend you're fighting somebody for 12 rounds. That's kind of what I like. I do 1 round to warm up, and then I'll do the rest of it like I'm going through. I know I'm going to a decision, but let me try to win this fight type of thing. Okay, yeah. It's fun. Like it's just, especially baked and you got me skin and shit, right? Yeah. I don't know if you've ever really sparred or anything like that. No. Just the one time with me, right? That's really about it.
I'd like to get like a bag. I just don't know where the fuck to keep it in my house because I would have the basement free, right? And then I'm like the garage, we put our cars.
If you think you would do it often enough, the one at my gym is like the gym is like $20 to $22 a month. Okay. I got in early, so I'm not sure if they like. I got in before they even opened up, so I'm not sure how much they've increased their prices.
I'd like to get a bag somewhere.
Would you rather have that? Like, I feel like it would be a nuisance in the house, though, almost though.
Well, as long as I can find a place.
Like garage is normally where most people keep them.
That's where you would, because otherwise, like.
But you guys regularly use your garage too, right?
That's the thing.
It would have to be like the summer or some shit where you guys could like. Yeah. But even then, I don't need. You guys don't do that. You guys just keep all the cars in the garage all the time.
In the garage, yeah. I can definitely move it out for the time that I want to. I could just pull my car into the driveway and then like it could be in the corner and I drag it out. So. That's probably something.
Yeah, but then it's just so fun. Like I don't know, like it. I especially with how much fighting we watch, you see the weird technique, like the combos that people are throwing. Mainly, I just do boxing. I don't do any kickboxing or anything like that, right? But like a guy like Peter Yan, like you fucking watch that guy and see his diversity of strikes. Yeah, and you're like, fuck, man. Like, okay, let me see if I can try to put like I see grasp how hard it is to actually put like a 3-punch combination like that together.
It's really
whatever
hard.
The fuck it is.
It's all muscle memory though. You just have to keep doing it repeatedly over and over and over and over a long time, and then eventually it's just time. You have to put in the time.
The one thing I've kind of been working on is just the 1-2, the simple and basic 1-2, and then every time after that, just throw something else behind it, whether it's like a hook or an uppercut or something like that. Just build that foundation of the 1-2 because that's technically the punching combination that normally gets people into range to land the bigger blows, right? It's your battering ram essentially. You come down the middle with the 1-2 and you pretty much open that guy, seeing how he's going to react to you, and then you can either go to the body, you go to the head, whatever the fuck it is.
Switch it up.
It's like that's why I love guys like Peter Yan. I don't know if I can think of another fun striker like Peter Yan currently in the UFC. Israel Adesanya, yeah,
Peter Yan's more boxing though. Like Adesanya throws in a lot of kicks. Yan doesn't.
Yan throws some kicks.
He does.
He throws some kicks.
I mean,
but not as much as Izzy.
He did knock out Faber with a kick, but
he's like
mostly
next
boxing.
level. Have you seen like some of the training clips of him?
Who?
Yan.
No.
Dude, this guy.
I know. I've heard he's a
Remember
monster.
the Hector Lombard stories?
No.
Where he's just a fucking like hard person to train with.
Lombard. Okay, I thought you meant Lombard talking about Yan. I'm like,
oh no, my bad. Yeah. Lombard training, like training with Lombard actually.
Yeah. He's a monster.
They're like Yan is pretty much this guy's throwing flying knees. Like
he's one of
like
those guys.
Flying knees with intention, not flying knees just to throw it. With intention.
He's one of those guys. You gotta like, okay, chill out, bro. We're not trying to kill each other in sparring.
I'm like, I would not want to spar with him. But I'm sure he would be able to step your game up so much higher.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Just to be around that guy.
Doesn't kill you first.
230. What am I talking about? 246 this weekend. This weekend. Goddamn, it's fucking 7 days away. I used to
be so good at knowing the numbers, but now it's like you say 246. I'm like, what? Is that the next one? Like, I don't know. They're just everything's blending together now. But yeah,
I love
this is the next. Yeah,
pull up before we get to this. How did you feel about the break? It's been a solid 3-week break. Like
you know me. I'm UFC every weekend. I'm cool with it. Because like if you're
you hated this break.
I don't like breaks because like
I don't mind 1 week.
Even if you it's not a
Give
big
me 1
deal.
week.
But like for me, I just like them every weekend too. Because like if
something to look forward to.
If you don't want to watch it, then just don't watch it.
It's weird when you base your like calendar year around something that's happening, once every couple weeks. But
it's also just like a nice excuse for us to get together too when there's like more cards happening.
Touche.
So
it's not like we need excuses to fucking get together. The fuck.
Yeah. We got enough.
I know what you mean though.
Yeah.
This is one of those cards where it seems like we're gonna be cooking all the way up until maybe Skelly and Dawson, from your estimations. I want to see every fight. I'm personally
we're gonna be cooking, like actually cooking.
Like we're making no.
Okay.
Shit, you thought I pulled out the double entendre there?
No. I thought you meant like actual food. So okay, when am I cooking till?
No, I thought
Grand Dawson. Yeah, okay.
You want to see that fight?
Yeah, because I get what you're saying. Because then all the other fights you don't want to be cooking for them because they're good.
There you go.
Yeah, don't worry. But I was like, yo, is he actually saying cooking or is this a metaphor? That's what tripped me up. Okay. So we were on the same wavelength.
Kind of, yeah. I do mean it in both ways. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
But look at that ESPN Plus. Let's start at the bottom. Sabina Mazo and JJ Aldrich.
Okay,
I like that fight. I'm a nerd for this. I love
Sabina Mazo. Okay.
She was a highly touted girl coming over from LFA. Like highly touted, Colombian, long, very good striker. Then she lost to Marina Moroz in her first UFC fight.
Yeah.
And then she came back and I think she beat Shanna Dobson in her last fight. But yeah, she's even though she doesn't have a Wikipedia page, she's actually pretty good.
I don't know Osborne.
I think the first ever Jamaican-born fighter. Actually, what's his face is Jamaican, right? Uriah Hall.
Brian Keller, I just know because he didn't even look that great when he beat Barao.
Yep.
And he was clearly outmatched against Lineker and got knocked the fuck out. I don't know who.
Askarov was the guy that
I want to say that he's fought before.
He had a draw with Brandon Moreno.
Yes,
where Brandon Moreno probably should have won that fight.
I remember seeing that. Yes, that fight.
Highly touted ACB champion came to the UFC.
Yep. Tim Elliott, okay.
Murder.
Sure. Justin Ledev versus...
I don't know. I haven't really looked into this guy yet. He's making a UFC debut.
That I don't know. But there's some good names on there. Like Elliott and Keller. Well, Elliott mostly, actually.
I like Aldrich. I don't know why I'm a fan of Aldrich, but I like her. So
Dawson Skelly, I'm actually interested in that because
that's a good fight.
That's a good fight for the young Dawson. He should be able to run through Skelly and continue his run up.
Yeah.
So Skelly is... I think Dawson's more of he's a grappler, right? And that's Skelly's thing too. So that'll be a fun matchup.
I think Dawson's the better grappler there, but...
Then get to some fun fights.
Yeah,
Haqparast versus Dober. That's going to be a fun fight. Because Dober is actually... He was tuning up Dariush really badly before Dariush grappled him. Haqparast is probably not going to grapple him. So if this stays standing, this is actually going to be a really fun fight.
What do you think the over-under is set at? 1.5 or 2.5?
I would set at 1.5.
It's at over-under 2.5. And it's at plus money. It's plus 160 the last time I checked it for it to go under 2.5 rounds.
Plus 160. You know what?
How crazy is that?
No, I would actually say that it's going to...
I don't think it's going to go to a decision.
I would say 1.5, but I was going to say over 1.5.
Over 1.5, but under 2.5?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know.
Right?
That's why setting it at 2.5, I would think because like
I thought it should have been set at 1.5.
1.5, yeah, and I would say over.
Let's see if it's still at that, or unless people have hit it. Yeah, plus 160, under 2.5 rounds. Fight doesn't go to decision is plus 135.
Yeah, honestly, at those odds though, yeah, you got to take that bet. I'd say because they're just going to be standing.
The strikers,
and Hackbrass is young and keeps getting better.
I even had
looking good on the feet.
Plus money on Hackbrass's last fight to go under 2.5 when he fought Joaquim Silva.
Like, what, 2 minutes?
Yeah. I don't know if I can pull that up, but
I think that was a 90-second fight or something like that.
That was a fun fucking fight, but he murked him
out.
Under 2.5 plus 150.
Yeah, right.
Same situation here. And Drew Dober is a guy who likes to strike as well too.
Yep, they're both strikers. Drew Dober is a kickboxer. I think he came from kickboxing.
I like the fact that we have this fight this early in the card too, because it is a fun fight, like you said. Like that's the one that really caught your eye over Dawson and Skelly.
Yeah.
Right, that's a fun fight. That could headline the prelims.
But okay, the next one though, Yusuf Feely.
That's a
crazy fight.
That's a fun fight.
Wicked fight. Feely
has been looking
way better.
I got to look into Feely again.
He seems to really be like coming into his own now after a while. Like you kind of thought, like, is this guy gonna get better? Like he came in really touted and then kind of floundered a bit.
Yeah,
and now it just seems like okay, he might be on that little bit of a run. Yusuf's just looked amazing. Good prospect on the up and up. I think they're both coming off the wins off of Moraes, but Feely did it better, KO'd him. Shaman Moraes.
I feel like Yusuf has fought since then.
Or has he fought since then?
Gabriel Benitez.
He beat Gabriel Benitez.
TKO first round.
Okay, that was a good win. Holy fuck, he's like 4-0.
Yo, he's good, man. I think he's from Fortis, or does he train with Lloyd Irvin? Yeah, Lloyd Irvin. He's like one of the few guys that are still around Lloyd Irvin. Do you remember that guy?
Yeah, for the rape stuff.
Exactly. Modafferi and Barber should technically...
That's a fun fight. I like that fight a lot.
She should not be a minus 1,000 favorite, though.
Hell no. Maybe like minus 300 at the most. At best. Like what the fuck, minus 1,000?
Let's see if it's still up there.
Straight up, money's going on Modafferi at those odds. Do I expect her to win? No. But if I'm going to get 5-1 or 6-1 on my money,
I'd say that's some value right there.
Hell yeah.
Where is it? Oh yeah, she's still around minus 1. So plus 700 at sport bet.
Macy Barber, her style. She's very aggressive. She got the standing TKO in her last fight.
JJ Aldrich. She is aggressive.
How's her grappling?
Good. She choked out Jillian Robertson, who's been choking bitches out too.
Oh yeah, Gillian Robertson.
Yeah, that was a fun fight.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
She is exciting. She is very forward moving and aggressive.
Okay, she's that quick new.
Yeah.
She's just like all in your face trying to murk you right away. Okay, Modafferi could easily
she could eat some shots
if she just uses her veteran savvy and her experience and just grapples her and controls her. So at those odds, like I don't know.
I have a boy that told me that he's seen them spar before.
Okay,
because he trains at their gym too, and he's seen Modafferi take her down a couple times.
But that's also like a girl like Barber is so young that in like 2 months she's that much better.
That's true.
Right? So you never know. True. They're still learning so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, Modafferi was what, a plus 230 against Antonia Shevchenko?
Yep.
Stifled her, no problem with the grappling.
Yep.
Her grappling.
I would definitely rate Barbara higher than Shevchenko at this point.
Yeah,
but
because Shevchenko
still not.
got into the game late without grappling. So that's a hard thing to overcome.
She was kind of gifted that fight against Lucy Podolova last time.
Shevchenko?
Yeah.
Was she gifted it?
I don't gifted. She knocked her out, but like she was gifted in the sense that like, okay, here's a striker.
Oh, okay.
Like get back on the track.
Matchup wise.
Let's see if we can get you back into the swing of things.
Well, she's Valentina's younger sister, so
yeah.
So wait, older sister actually.
Oh yeah. Because I think
she's the older one.
It just trips me out that they're fucking sisters.
They don't look the same.
Something
they got to be half sisters.
One of the parents went around and fucked around a little bit. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. Wow, they opened the card with Pettis and Fajeda.
That's what Pettis is now. For fun fights, he's the curtain jerker.
Dude, I legitimately thought that would, probably be co-main.
They should have opened it with Green and Olenek.
Exactly. It's going to be a fun, sloppy fight that the casuals will get into.
I'm not a big fan of when they do this on pay-per-views a lot, where they just throw in this low-ranked heavyweight fight into like the middle of it as like a buffer or break thing, and I'm just like, hey, throw it at the beginning and just hit me with it.
I would easily take 3 out of the 4, actually all 4 of the prelim fights over Olenek and Green to fill that spot on the main card instead. All those fights are going to be fun. Skelly and Dawson is just going to be a back and forth grappling fight.
Okay,
should be fun.
I get why they're doing it, but I almost kind of feel like Pettis Diego Ferrer deserves the co-main slot,
That's what I mean.
right?
Yeah.
But they're doing it because Holly Holm has
the biggest name
because of that Rousey knockout. So she's riding the wave of that Rousey knockout. And it's funny, after that knockout, I think she has a pretty bad losing record, like 2-5.
She hasn't really come.
Like
she hasn't really like strung together much
but
since then.
She's got that knockout over Rousey, so the casuals know her face, and she's still marketable.
I actually want to see what she is.
Yeah, what is her record after the Rousey fight? Okay, so she won the Rousey fight, then she lost, 3 losses. So 2 wins and 5. 2 and 5. I called it.
Fuck
there you go. I don't know how the fuck I did that.
Did you pull that out of your ass, dude?
Yeah. Just kind of like, I think it's around 2 and 5 or something.
Fuck
I was
you,
going to say
dude.
2 and 6 too. That's a funny part. I'm like, nah, 5 sounds more reasonable.
I think 5 feels more like 7 fights than 8 fights. What do you have you looked at the odds for the
and one of her wins is Betchko, so it should be like 1 and 5, really. Like, that doesn't even count.
Do you remember that finish? It was so awkward too.
Because Betch is like, I'm going to start taunting, and then she just gets knocked out. Like, you idiot! This is God. She's got to be.
I had a good chunk of money on Holly that night too, so I'm glad she fucking ended that.
Yeah.
Because you could, I think you could get her on the -280, -300 when she fought her that time, which was like value city in my opinion, dude. I hate Betch. I think I don't hate her as a person, but like, I don't know, just something about her.
She's just super irritating.
Yeah.
And dumb and annoying. Yeah.
And then the only other one was over Megan Anderson, where she like grapple fucked her. After getting lit up a bit. She got lit up a little bit.
She got hit with a bad knee when she was going in the first round. I remember that. So even that one wasn't like, that one was more Megan Anderson being so garbage at the grappling. And
I was riding the Holly Holm wave so hard going into that fight that when she got like rocked, I was like, okay. I felt like my heart sink because I'm like, yo,
but I remember going into
really
the fight,
hard,
you're like, dude, Megan Anderson is not that great.
No.
Holly Holm it was -160. I still remember that.
And the odds kept getting better closer to the fight.
You're like, Holly Holm at these odds is ridiculous, and you're like, definitely bet on her.
Yeah.
And then she totally outgrappled her.
The fucked up part is I thought it was going to be striking though.
And you thought she was still going to win that part, yeah.
Yeah.
And she was getting
but that's what Megan, she's a little bit wild, but she is powerful. I'll give that to her. But her technical striking is just not that good. I hope she's been working on it. Like, okay, I don't wish any ill will on her or anything like that. But
even
I just don't think she's that good.
Down by Holly Holm, fine. How can you not get back up if you're a striker? If you're a striker in the UFC, you should be working getting a back up off the ground more than takedown defense.
Exactly.
Because takedown defense, if that fails, now what? You're just going to lie there until the round's over? Like, yo, primary thing, get back up, work, squirm, everything, get back up. That should be your primary focus.
Israel Adesanya has kind of mastered that almost. He's never really been held down.
The best is Jose Aldo. I've never seen Jose Aldo in his
never
prime.
Accepts it.
I've never seen takedown defense like that.
BJ Penn too, though. BJ Penn in his prime was crazy.
Never like Aldo. He was never on Aldo's level. He was hard to take down, but guys could still get him down. And then he would concede.
Mm-hmm.
Aldo, so hard to take down. And then even if you kind of got him down, immediately back up. Like, you were not keeping him down. GSP actually too.
He was really good.
I still remember the Condit fight. Condit could not for the life of him get back up. And then the one time he head kicks him and drops him and gets on top, GSP
like, right back up. Like, that was a fun. You were with me that night, right?
Yeah, I think
we watched that fight together. That was a fun fucking fight. Holly Holm though, have you seen the odds for this fight?
Hold on, who the hell is she facing? Pennington. Yeah, it's close. It's like -110 each. It's a pick'em.
It's not pick'em territory yet. I bet her at -121.
Is she a slight like -120,
-132? So it's still closer than I expected it to be. Because they're actually scheduled earlier last year, and then somebody had to pull out. I think Holly Holm eventually got the title shot or something, but she was like -160ish range, and I'm like, I'm all in already there. And now they're giving us I got it close to -120. Now it's -130ish. People see value on Pennington. I love Holm here. Like I think that like Pennington, the only thing I would be worried about here is her walking, like consistently pushing the pace.
That's what I was gonna say.
But Holly Holm is gonna do much better in terms of landing. I think she's gonna land the heavier strikes too.
Okay, but the thing is, the first fight was kind of close, and since then, to me, it only feels like Holm might be regressing a bit, like because she's getting older.
I understand that argument that some people have been saying as well, but you should put. Don't worry, it's okay. Oh shit! My only concern was Pennington moving forward consistently. Judges may see something in that, but I think during that time, it's gonna be it's all gonna be about Holly Holm's output. And you brought up the argument about the fact that her lack of or a regression. She lost to Amanda Nunes last time around.
That
she
is
beat
true.
Megan Anderson.
That's the thing.
She lost to Chris Cyborg.
Everyone she's lost to is definitely way more skilled than Raquel Pennington.
Thank you. And I
Amanda
don't think
Nunes is top. Chris Cyborg is the best featherweight.
Shevchenko.
Jermaine Durandamy is still a high-level kickboxer, and even that you could argue Holm should have won that fight based on point deductions, and maybe even like if you.
What is this regression bullshit? Like she's losing against really good people, like, and fighting really close fights against these girls.
Won, she doesn't look that great. And my thing with Holm is, I've never seen someone with so much experience look like they're always so uncomfortable and nervous in the cage.
That I think that's just how she fights though.
I don't think so though, because even in the Miesha Tate fight, like she got caught with a choke because she like it looked like she was panicking to get back up. Like she never. Kenny Florian touched on this, and he would obviously know more. Like watching it, she's so stiff and uncomfortable all the time. Like I don't get it. Like with all that experience, like there's a mental thing with her.
But she still goes out there and competes against the greatest fucking women of all time.
Do you remember the combo? Holm is like,
oh yeah. She's quivering and then she got hit with the head.
And then she just gets hit. I'm like, what is that? Like, why?
I think
she gets so tentative and scared.
It could be a mental thing, but mentally going into this fight, she should know that she has the edge. Like even in the Miesha Tate fight, she's done it before too.
She's also old now. She's 37.
But she's a
lot of miles on her.
I think this division, especially at this level of women, you can get away with being that old. She is 38.
That's old. That is old though. Like for an athlete, you're that's really pushing.
I just wanted to see kind of what like her output has been like over her last couple fights, but she only needed 25 to finish fucking Betch Correia, but she was pretty hesitant in that fight. 77 in the Jermaine Durandamy fight, 44 in the Cyborg fight, 47 in the Anderson fight. And then obviously not enough in the Amanda Nunes fight. But I think it comes down to her output. I truly think that it comes down to her output.
She's going to do the stick and move. Pennington's going to try and rush her and get into her face, sorry.
I think she's going to be the stronger one too. So I don't know how much she'll have to worry about getting taken down here. And I don't really think that much of Pennington's takedowns.
No, I don't. I don't see Pennington getting home down, but I can see her making it dirty and getting in her face. And I could see it being one of those fights where it's pretty clear Holm's the better fighter, but she's just letting Pennington have her way.
There's that one part where it would be Pennington just consistently moving forward. Exactly. I'm banking more so on a Holm being able to. That's kind of her style, though. She is a counter striker, so I think that she'll be able to stick and move well enough, and maybe possibly get a finish, possibly later in the fight.
One thing. Too, I think it definitely probably benefits Holm. That's a 3-round fight. She can.
That's another thing.
Pretty easily.
That's another thing. Like maybe she can let it go a little bit more at the end of the third.
It's one of those
catch
where
Pennington, who's probably going to be a little bit gassed by then chasing her all fight.
I kind of do. Like when you look at it skill wise, these odds are ridiculous.
Yeah,
but that one X factor, which is Pennington walking her down, I just feel like it's so likely to happen with Holm at this stage in her career
that she would get.
That's what's making me.
She would lose a decision in that aspect.
Yeah, that's kind of what's making me hesitant to. Even though it's like, wow, at those odds with the skill set on paper, it's like this is crazy.
I guess it's kind of good for me to get that like second. Like other people are saying it too, and that's obviously why the odds are as close as they are, because that means people are betting on Pennington, right? But yeah, I don't know. I just see like this is one of those like, for me, it's a Gray Maynard Teruto Ishihara type of things.
Okay,
not as wide as that, but like close to that. Where I'm like, what are people seeing in Ishihara?
Yeah,
what are people seeing in Pennington other than the
That's the thing. I don't think it's about seeing something special in Pennington. I think it's just about seeing
I don't believe in the regression. Like it did look bad how she got knocked out against Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, she's
fucking Amanda Nunes.
She's just never comfortable in the cage. That's the whole thing. It's just strange.
She doesn't need to worry about that with Pennington, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
Oleinik and Green, whatever fucking
Who gives
fight.
A shit.
Grasso, Gadella. You know,
I like that fight actually.
I don't mind it, but like
it's a weird fight because Grasso is coming off a loss to Esparza, and she's getting a higher ranked fighter who's coming off a win.
Who did Gadella beat? Marcos? Yeah, Randa Marcos. True. Grasso's like, she has that name value kind of attached to her, though.
They're treating Grasso like she beat Esparza because a lot of people felt that she should have. But then it was still a close fight. Yeah.
I cashed on Esparza there.
But I don't know. It's very strange booking. And the odds are close. Like to me, my first thought was, shouldn't Gadelia be able to hold her down?
Cardio.
Because
It's the
Esparza
only
took
issue.
3 rounds. 3 rounds. Gadelia's always got 2 rounds in her. She's always got 2 rounds.
I know that last round is scary though. Like Grasso's a really good striker. If she's able to give it on the feet.
Gadelia's definitely regressed hard, like from where she was at the Joanna fights.
I agree. Gadelia should be a little bit more of a favorite than it's at a pick'em right now.
Yeah, it's at a pick'em.
Maybe a -130, -140.
I want to rewatch the Esparza and Grasso fight.
Oh yeah,
and really see like how that went. But see, another thing is like you could argue Esparza's. Why I think Esparza's probably the better striker than Gadelia.
Correct.
That could come into play. Like
Correct.
Grasso might,
and if she's able to keep it on the feet, she's long. She has
like
good
Grasso
kicks.
will tune up Gadelia on the feet. I think
Exactly, especially in the third round if like Gadelia really starts to suck wind.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the main concern there. I don't know if I'd be willing to go into that fight. Betting on that, betting on either side here. Like you can't comfortably be like, okay, I feel super confident on this side.
Yeah.
Why risk it?
I'm totally in
like
that.
The one thing I never want to do is bet on a fighter that gasses. And is known to gas. Why? Like, okay, you're banking on them getting the finish in the first minute and a half,
and then
or
surviving,
round and a half, and then surviving.
Yeah,
fuck that.
And that's just a weird thing with Gadelia. Like, why is your cardio not getting better?
Nuts.
Why is your cardio not getting better? Why? I never understand this with fighters, especially some high level ones. You got one issue, and you just keep coming into fights not having fixed the one issue. What the fuck do you think is going to happen? I don't get it.
Over and over again.
Yeah, like what the hell? Even if you
I don't know if Gadelia's style is really a finish centric style.
No, it's about being able to control and use your grappling.
Win 2 rounds in 1 minute.
But it's all because her cardio is lacking. Like if she fixes that and she could actually go hard for 3 to 5 rounds, she could be a monster. But
which is crazy that she went consistently 5 rounds with. She went one time 5 rounds. With the Joanna.
But that's the thing. She did it though. She gassed.
But she was still.
She won the first 2 rounds. Joanna kept squirming and defending, and then by the third, she was gassing, and then the fourth and the fifth, she was a punching bag who did nothing but get punched in the face repeatedly.
I hope we see some progress with her. I know she's at the UFC PI, so she's been there for a couple camps now.
Let's see. Hopefully, Jesus.
Hopefully that helps.
Like
her
she
a
should
bit.
be able to easily beat Grasso.
I agree.
The fact that these odds are this close is like if I'm Gadelia, I should be like I'm pissed at
insulted at least.
Yeah, this is offensive.
Holy shit. Diego Ferreira -255 over Pettis. Never thought I'd see the day.
That's too much. Like I do think Ferreira's gonna win, but I would think like -200 at the most is where he should be.
I'm hoping that's where the line kind of gets because I think he might be my lock of the night though.
You think so?
Just due to the fact, like, I'm not the type of guy that buys into a guy looking good in one fight and being like, okay, this guy's changed now. Khalil Roundtree, perfect example. I bet against him in the fight after he whooped Derek Anders. He fought a young Kutilaba the dog, took the shot there, destroyed him. Like, you can't buy into completely just one fight.
It's styles too, yeah.
Ferreira has been sustaining this over his last couple of fights where he's, beat Rustam Khabilov. He's beaten Mirbek motherfucking Taisimov, kind of in his game too.
Yes, but here's the thing. Pettis is known for, especially fighting guys at this level, pulling it out and getting some spectacular finishes.
Ferreira's tough as fuck. The only trouble I've really seen him in the last couple of fights, he fought Kyle Nelson on short notice. Nelson hurt him early to the body, but he recovered really right away and then demolished him for the rest of the fight. Finished him later.
I just think at these odds, if I'm putting money on anyone, it's Pettis.
Oof.
Because
I'm glad you're thinking that though, because then the money. I think people feel that way too, which is why you see all those red arrows going down because people are betting on it now.
I think Ferreira should win too, but Pettis is just that guy who could fucking at any time land a punch or a kick and then pull out a submission if he's got you hurt or rocked. Like he can do it to anybody.
Yeah,
and this level of fighter, generally Pettis is able to do it too. So,
but again, I think this is the fight that will allow us to really see that Ferreira's not that type of level.
Okay, yeah.
I think he's
been showing, he's been improving.
He's really, improving a lot, like radically. That safe Saeed guy's been killing it for him. At those
odds, if I'm putting money on anyone's Pettis, most like I'm just staying away from it. But if it was Ferreira at,
hey Alfred, you're an incel. What's going on?
hey Alfred, shut up.
Keep it together. Somebody's at the door, probably.
Minus 200 or less, then I would.
I think it's going to get to that range too, though.
Okay.
I just wanted to see his record. Five fight winning streak. Obama Mercier is not a bad win.
That's a solid win.
And
he grappled him too, I think.
He murked Jared Gordon when Jared Gordon was kind of on the way up. Like, I don't know if you
Nelson?
remember that fucking knockout. That was a vicious fucking knockout. Kyle Nelson fight was short notice. He was supposed to fight. He was supposed to fight Francisco Trinaldo. Nope. I remember he was supposed to fight. John McDessie, then Jesse Ronson. Then Jesse Ronson had to pull out because he couldn't safely make it. Then Kyle Nelson. So like within a week, he changed like 3 opponents.
Okay, yeah. Khabibulov was a good win. Taisimov was a good win. Just I don't think any of those guys are as good as Pettis skill wise.
Wow, I think Merbeck murks fucking Pettis.
Okay, honestly, I think you're too high on Taisimov.
No, what?
Yeah, man.
What do you mean? What do you mean I'm too high on him?
That's why I thought it was insane that, like, at the odds of Ferreira going... I thought Ferreira was easily going to beat Taisimov.
What?
I'm telling you,
I think he's going to bounce back from this for sure. His only issue is he doesn't fight often enough because he can't get his visa. Mm-hmm. He's always fighting in Europe somewhere.
Yeah.
But even then,
it's only when they have the cards there.
He's just not fighting enough, but he's got deadly
striking fine, but I don't know. I'm not convinced. I'm not sold on this dude. I wasn't sold on him going into the Ferreira fight. That's why I thought he was definitely going to lose that fight. Yeah.
Wow, that surprises me. I still think that he has another run in him. See how old he is though. He's 31. That's not bad. But again, I think he would get higher level of competition if he's able to fight
really good
more.
Striker, though.
But yeah, that's what surprised me the most is that Diego Ferreira like outstriked him the way he did. It's his forward pressure. It's his aggressiveness with his striking, and his jiu-jitsu is next level too.
Yeah,
but he's just been outstriking guys.
Exactly, and he's got the cardio to keep it up the whole fight.
Exactly,
he's been fighting at his own pace. He stifles them. He's doing very.
So I think he'll keep Pettis on his back foot, and that's where Pettis is not comfortable.
And that's why I think Ferreira should win, because if he's constantly throwing and constantly doing what he needs to stifle, Pettis is a guy who easily mentally folds in fights and you get stifled. Like he doesn't know what the fuck to do, sort of deal. So I could totally see that happening. I don't see Ferreira finishing him. Pettis is so tough. I think it'll go to a decision if he wins. And I think most likely Ferreira by decision, but I think if Pettis wins, it's going to be like, oh shit, he just hurt him and then he quickly jumps on a sub or something like that. So I would think Pettis, if he wins, will be with a finish.
A part of me wants to see Pettis win because always like
I'm done with
I'm a guilty Pettis fan. Like still,
he's another guy who didn't improve. He just never fixed up his holes really.
His timeline to become a star was like perfectly set up for him. The crazy Bendo fight, he was able to pull off that fucking Showtime kick, come into the UFC, kind of got delayed. Remember he was supposed to fight Clay Guida?
Yeah.
No. Sorry, he was supposed to fight for the title.
Frankie Edgar,
and then the Edgar
Maynard.
He got fucked in that. Then he went and lost to Guida.
Yeah, he got held down.
Yeah, and then he got like screwed by that. But he still made enough fame during that time. And then he became a champion too, right?
Yeah, he did. It looked impressive,
Bendo.
but then RDA just like since the RDA fight, soul. It's done. Yeah, he just took his soul.
He took him from like headliner to
recovered
main card opener.
Yep.
That's sad to see, man.
Then I remember he was like a 3.5 to 1 favorite over Eddie Alvarez and loses that fight.
Yeah. I love the fact that we've gone however long that we've gone and we haven't talked about Conor and Cowboy once at all. Because that's what's
We're
dominating.
Getting to it, yeah.
That's what's dominating like fucking podcasts and shit this week anyway, right?
Some shine.
So let's yeah, that's so true. We have to like build up the rest of the card.
Have you seen a poster that had Holly Holm on it? No. And she's actually a big name, but they still won't even put her face on the poster.
That's so true. Yeah, but I'm kind of glad that we talked the rest of the card through because we are adding a little bit of a storyline to each fight. We are adding a little bit of fucks that we want to give to this fight.
This is a solid card. It's not the best pay-per-view card, but it's consistently
scattered with names.
It's because especially for like a more of a hardcore fan, if you know these guys, these are good fights.
Exactly. They are just lucky.
And they're meaningful. They're not just random. Like they actually have some meaning going on. Ferreira Pettis, there's like that's an important fight.
Barber Modafari as well. That's like Barber's like right of passage
that's a big one. Even Fili Yusuf.
Yep.
I think that's a good test for both. Hack Press, that's a good test for him against Dober. Like they actually matter. Like a lot of young like guys who, if they get wins over certain key names here, they could be launched into like the top.
Even kind of even Elliott and Askarov. Like for flyweight, there's not much going on there. So any win or any shuffle there, it rumbles everything, right?
Just so
there's nothing going on.
Nobody
we got a
cares.
title fight coming up eventually soon, right? But
cares,
it's still happening though.
Yeah, and one of the guys in the title fight is 1-1 in his last 2 fights. Like, get out of my face.
I still love Davison. Don't shit on Davison like that, man. Fuck you.
I remember he was the underdog going into the Formiga fight, and I'm like, Formiga, I think
this is Formiga versus Evil Formiga. because they're twins.
Oh, yeah.
They're fucking twins. Stupid. McGregor Cerrone.
The odds, first of all, are too ridiculous for this.
A little out of hand, I will say that.
Minus 320 for a guy who hasn't won in 3 years. I know this whole matchup is totally catered to his style, but man, it's been 3 years. And I know Conor's dedicated again. He's coming in amazing shape. He's all back to the old Conor. Yeah, okay.
Don't believe it.
Whatever. Even if all that is true, these odds are still insane. Like, minus 200 is where it should be.
I agree. He should be a decent favorite. Minus 200 is the right number.
Yeah.
Cowboy has a lot better chances than a plus 250.
110%. Cowboy can actually win this fight in every facet of MMA. He can win in the stand-up. Now, he's going to be at a disadvantage for those first couple of rounds because of Conor's speed and boxing and precision. Fine. Yeah. But it's not like he's helpless. He's a stand-up fighter. Mm-hmm. He can win in the kickboxing. In the boxing, he can win in the clinch. And in the ground, he's the better grappler.
Yeah,
so it's like, if you have so many paths to victory, how fuck
are
can
you
be
this big
big of an underdog? That's a little too much. Maybe it's because he's coming off those 2 bad losses, like especially the Gaethje fight where he got knocked out in the first round.
Still fucking Gaethje. Yeah. I wanted to see how often Conor has gone to a 5-round fight.
I think it's only Nate.
Right?
He's never gone 5 rounds. He gets finishes. He either starts...
He had the Holloway decision.
That was a 3-rounder, though. And that was mostly, because he tore his ACL at the end of the second.
How many decisions has he gone to? Two decisions.
I think Holloway was his first decision fight. Yeah. Holloway was the first time he went to... He got subbed 2 times really quick, and then every other fight he was knocking dudes out in the first, second round.
We've seen what it looks like when he fought somebody 4 or 5 rounds against Nate Diaz. And...
Not that great.
You know, I think a Cowboy could take advantage of a guy like that.
Yes, because even in the 5-round fight with Nate Diaz let that fight get away from him. If you rewatch that fight...
I just realized now that's a majority draw.
Yeah.
So somebody scored it a draw.
Yeah. I remember that. So it was like round 1 and 2 were all Conor. And then round 3, Nate really put it on him. So you could go 10-8 there. Mm-hmm. Then this is where Nate gives up the fight. He lost round 4 just based off output. Round 4 was not a lot happening, but Conor, even though he looked gassed, was still throwing more, and Diaz was just kind of doing his plotting forward and blocking, but eating more shots.
Not throwing anything.
Cowboy's not going to do that shit. Cowboy's going to be consistent. We've seen him be consistent for 5 rounds. So if Conor doesn't get him in the first 7 to 8 minutes, this is probably going to be a bad fight for Conor, because now you got Cowboy settled into the fight. He's a bigger fighter. He can fight anywhere. And he's got better cardio than you. Proven.
I don't know if I can trust Cowboy enough, though.
To get it to the 8-minute mark of the fight?
You know what I mean? Like, so that's where I kind of understand him being like that big of a dog. But it shouldn't be that big.
Yeah. Stylistically, he is definitely the underdog.
Yes.
But these odds are ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. But like, we've seen when he comes to fights like these, he kind of folds under the pressure. Like title fights or any like number 1 contenders fights, he's always kind of fucking folding.
But you know what? Those are mostly fights where the pressure's on him.
Pressure?
I don't think the pressure's on him in this fight. I think Cowboys come in and like everyone.
I think
he's supposed to lose. He's being fed to Conor.
No, but I think that he takes that as pressure on himself, though.
No,
I think he'll be like, yo, everybody's thinking I'm going to go out there and lose. No, I want to.
I think it's the direct opposite. I think Cowboy's going to come in with a chip on his shoulder, ready to fuck someone up. Because it's like, I'm supposed to lose this shit? I'm going to show you, motherfucker.
Isn't having a chip on your shoulder technically kind of putting pressure on yourself to go out there and do something?
No, it's a different one. Like, for instance, Cowboy coming back against Evan Dunham. Cowboy was coming off a bad loss there. And he's like, man, I came into this fight I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to fuck this dude up, whatever. Like, that's...
You think that's the mentality he's coming into this fight with?
I think he can easily... I think there's a big thing where he's probably going to come in with a mentality like that, because there's no pressure on him. He's already coming off 2 losses, and he's just supposed to be Cowboy's rebound fight. Sorry, Conor's Conor's rebound fight.
Get it together. There we go.
Against Cowboy.
I want to snip that and send it to Zane, but yeah. No.
Yeah, he's just supposed to be the rebound fight to get Conor back into the rankings so he can get his title fight again.
So you think he would accept that title and be like, okay, if I lose, I fucking like, or like. You think that's going to be boosting him? That's going to be making him want to go out and get the victory?
When he's going into the RDA fight, the whole story was Cowboy's back on this crazy streak and he's getting his the pressure was on him. The story was about him. This whole story is just Conor's return. And Cowboy's just happens to be the guy who he's returning against. Tailor-made opponent just tossed up for Conor to easily win. I think that's going to make Cowboy go
Such
in
a
like
tough fucking
no
fight,
pressure.
man.
Right. Plus, Conor's not even getting under Cowboy's skin. And you know what happens when Cowboy goes in.
Touche.
And he's
Unraveled.
friendly.
Yeah.
Friendly Cowboy is the worst Cowboy. The scariest Cowboy is
friendly
Cowboy.
dad Cowboy.
Friendly dad Cowboy is a scary man. Scary as
the
fuck.
boogeyman.
Like I think it was like, wasn't it like the third round of the Matt Brown fight where like they hugged or something, and then like a minute later he knocked him out with a head kick? You're like, this is what happens. You make friends with Cowboy, he kills you.
I want to see them at the press conference. I think that's coming up very soon too.
Conor's gonna try a bit. Like Conor still likes Cowboy and he's being a little more cordial, but I think going into the fight, especially with his press conference, I think he's gonna try a bit. He's gonna turn it up.
Again, I still don't feel the oh my god, it's 7 days away.
Yeah, I don't
like when Khabib and Conor was coming up, I was like,
big. That was big.
I'm like a month before, I was like, yo, I'm good. Let's go. Let's do this. Now I'm like, it's coming. And it has nothing to do with the rest of the card.
Yeah, no.
It's like, I wanted to see what my attachment level would be to Conor. And like, does he still bring that allure to me?
No, because it's been too long, so I'm kind of over it. Like, he's going to have to build it back up with a couple of wins.
And again, the sad part is being active, beating a guy like Cowboy, again, no disrespect to Cowboy, doesn't really do anything for me for Conor's stock. Fight Gaethje.
Hey, if Conor knocks out Cowboy and then actually does a quick turnaround and fights Gaethje and beats him, he's won me over. I'm in now. I won't say shit at that point.
I'll hang up a fucking Irish flag.
You just came back after a long layoff and took out number 5 and number 3 just like that. Okay, Go get your title shot, bro.
Totally cool with that.
I'm totally cool with it. That's kind of like if Conor gets a quick win, I really hope they can just slap that fight together. Fuck it. Put it. Co-main event of Tony Ferguson and Khabib. Conor Gaethje. And if anyone pulls out, you can just mix and match them right there.
I feel like some people would still find a way to complain a little bit about Conor, even if he knocked out Gaethje. Do something, Gaethje's chinny.
I think that's ridiculous. I
think some people will still harp that though.
If Conor takes out Gaethje,
because even on Twitter, still now, I see people posting gifs of Gaethje getting like rocked by Johnson and rocked by other people, and then saying, "And you guys think this guy's going to be Conor?"
After Gaethje lost to Poirier, he's totally turned around. He's a different style now. He's way more calculated.
Vic and Barboza.
He's like a very calculated. Or more calculated type of brawler. Like he's
more
not
controlled chaos.
He's way more defensively minded.
Mm-hmm.
He's not trying to take that level of damage anymore, but he's still going to get in your face and take something. But he's way more defensively minded. It's a totally different fight.
I do like the style that he brings into this fight though against Conor. Like that's the fun part of it. The forward pressure, the consistent leg kicks, to staying on you. Can Conor?
The leg kicks. Yeah, what's Conor's thing? Blitzing in and out. What happens if after one or two leg kicks, all of a sudden
his leg is just sitting there too?
Yep,
just sitting there to be taken.
But Conor has that quick in and out movement, so he can get in out, and he's got that range. He can hit it. Like Gaethje's going to take some shots.
For how long though?
Gaethje's going to take some shots, but if he can maybe just block him nicely and whip in those leg kicks, Conor's not moving around as much. Now you can smother him.
I know everybody wants to see Conor go out there and get that first round finish.
Yeah.
I think the most ideal outcome for him is a solid 5-round decision win to show that he is,
or like a third or fourth round TKO. I think that's the best case.
I'd say 4th round TKO more so. I want to see a solid 3 rounds out of him.
I want to see 3 rounds where you easily win 10-9 each round, and you're totally on point stifling Cowboy, and then you put him away. Yeah, that's like the best case.
I'd say that's the ideal case for him.
I mean, you want to go like ultimate scenario is like you rock him and submit him. Just like, I can grapple, bro.
I'll cowboy you pretty much. Yeah. Cowboy.
Submit him, bro. Yeah.
That would actually be pretty nuts. That would make me more excited than just a Conor
just
first
rocks
round
him, drops him, and chokes him. Like, holy fuck.
Yes. That would be a better Sunday morning, in my opinion.
But you know what the problem with that outcome would be? They would just immediately give Conor the title shot. Because he looked like such a monster against Cerrone. Like, they would use that as an excuse to give him the title shot. You know, right?
Why the fuck do you open that can of worms?
Right. If he does that, he's 100% getting the title shot. And then they're going to do Gaethje Poirier too.
I still am holding strongly. I think that Tony Ferguson is going to win. So that still throws a wrench into, like, if Tony Ferguson wins and they give Conor the title shot, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah.
Well, Khabib deserves an immediate rematch, but he can go fucking chill for a bit.
They would be dying to give Conor that match.
Of course.
It's a fresh matchup, and we can get Conor in a title fight against the guy who's not going to hold him down, and Conor's probably going to beat. He has a good chance. Stylistically, it's a very good fight for him.
Yeah.
But once again, if he doesn't put him on the first or second round, he's so fucked against Tony Ferguson. Mr. I don't get tired. Like, impossible for me to get tired.
I get less tired as the fight goes on.
Yeah. You don't put him away in the first or second round, that's the boogeyman in your face the whole fight. He's going to fuck you up badly.
I really want to see that fight. But again, we still have 7 days until the next one fucking happens with Conor and Cowboy.
I'm kind of rooting for Ferguson too. Like, deep down,
I'm
definitely rooting for Ferguson.
I don't know what it is.
I don't think he's going to win, but I think he's a really good chance, and I'm hoping that he pulls it out, man.
It'll be it's going to be such a fun fight, though. Like,
he's on such a long streak. He's never had a title fight. It's one of those, like, you just feel like he's done so much that he's earned it. Give him his fucking title. How can you win 12 fights in a division and never be a champion? For fuck's sakes.
I know.
The story has to end nicely. Give him his title. Even if he loses it after that, fuck it. He got his 13 wins in a row and became the champion. Thank God. His story's...
He can take that interim thing off of his name, too.
We can close it off now.
Let's wipe that away.
Good ending.
I would be so discouraged if it was like a 3-minute knockout for Khabib. Like if he goes out there and clips Ferguson and puts him away.
Ground and pound finishes him?
I'm like, no, I wanted to see more. Show me more.
No way.
Show me, like, what if we never get to see? What if we never see it hit the ground? In terms of, we never see Khabib uses wrestling and Ferguson uses jiu-jitsu, because that's what everybody wants to see.
That's insane.
Everybody wants to see if Ferguson's jiu-jitsu is the jiu-jitsu to beat the wrestling of Khabib.
Yeah.
Right?
It has to. I feel like that fight, if it doesn't see round 3, we're gonna be let down. We got to get at least 2 full rounds.
Yeah, that was my thought going into when I was saying that.
Okay, fine. If we only get 2 full rounds because for like somehow one guy dominates the other and seals it, well, we don't really need to watch more. Cool.
Yeah.
But it just feels like they're so evenly matched that you need some rounds. We got to get some time in.
I forgot what matchup we were talking about on the last episode, and I hate myself for not bringing this up. We were talking about 2 undefeated guys going up against each other. It might have been this matchup.
What, DC Jones?
Yeah, DC Jones.
The first one, they were undefeated.
I think that's the last real time.
That was the coming together of
I said
Volkanovski
and Holloway, and I kind of get where you're coming from, because we saw Holloway lose recently.
Yeah.
And I remember there was another fight. I'm like, why the fuck didn't I say this? But DC Jones, so fucking evenly matched. Like,
going into that first fight, man,
that's how I feel about Ferguson Khabib as well.
I was totally like, dude, DC's the guy thing, man. If anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be DC, you know. And honestly, if anybody could do it, it probably still might just be DC if he was younger. But even then, Jones just took it. Like, Jones out, like, DC came out with a shirt that said "King of the Grind."
I know.
And then John Jones out grinded DC.
That's true.
What?
I think there was one where the campaign leading up to the first one from DC was break bones or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And
he broke him?
And then he had a Nike shirt or something on, or a Reebok shirt that said unbroken.
Unbroken.
Yeah, that's what it was. Unbreakable or unbroken, one of those two. I'm like, he just keeps getting the last word.
And Jones took him down 3 times. I know he didn't hold him down to do anything with it, but DC got one takedown in the 5th that wasn't even really a takedown. Like, he took him down onto his like knees or something.
Yeah.
And Jones actually dumped him 3 times. Like, that was the statement to me.
I was on the edge of my seat pretty much for that entire fight. That was a fun fucking fight. Again, let's cap this episode off with Cowboy and Conor. I'm just not, like, I want to be more excited, but I'm not really. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't feel like, okay, I can't wait to talk about on the next episode. At least, maybe this might hit me like Wednesday or Thursday. Or weigh-ins, maybe. I might start to feel it.
Are you sure it's not just the story around it, where it just feels like it's Conor's rebound and
it's his chance to win the love of the fans back?
Yeah, I don't even think so, though. Like, because you're supposed to win.
You're supposed to win, but
a fight where you're not really taking on,
like, he can still say, "I went there and fought. I went there and fought." There's something that you guys have tangible that can care about me a little bit more. Forget about all the shit that I've done in the last year or whatever.
Fine, get the win. That's cool, but in order to really get back there, he's gonna have to go and fight Gaethje and beat him, because then it's like that's the guy who's in line for a title fight, the legit guy rankings wise.
Yeah.
You take him out. Now what? People can't complain.
Mm-hmm.
But this, people can complain about it.
That's
What? You're going to beat the guy and then skip over the guy who just beat this guy first for the title fight? What? Like, you're getting Cowboy after Gaethje already knocked him out. That's a compromised Cowboy.
Again, that was like UFC sweepstakes, Gaethje versus Cowboy.
Yeah. The loser gets Conor.
The loser gets the Conor fight. That was sad. Anything else you want? Like, there's nothing really that happened this week. You know, another slow MMA week.
I didn't see any crazy matchups or anything that were made. Although they seem to be putting they keep adding fights to the Khabib Tony card. And I'm like, that's like 3 months away. Fill in some cards before.
What else did they announce for that?
They did announce something else. I can't remember.
Let's just scan the front page of these guys.
I can't remember. What is that? UFC 249, right?
248, I think. The Jessica Penny thing was pretty fucked up. I'm not sure if you read up on that.
Yeah. If it's true, which it does seem to be.
Yeah, and then you saw to release this.
Yeah, but that statement says like, oh, she can fight it, but then like her claim is like, yeah, but it's $30,000 to $40,000 in lawyer fees. Like, how the fuck do you expect me to fight this? So
that's true.
It is,
especially somebody who hasn't fought that long.
It is a little ridiculous.
Oh, they are doing a year in review for each division.
Yeah, they are actually. I was going to talk to you about that too. I'm like, oh, I was wrong about it just being welterweight.
How dare you?
But is it one a week? Like the welterweight one was up for like the whole week, right? So,
Ryan LaFleur coming back to the PFL. Try to win $1 million. It's further to your point from last week.
Yeah, just
why don't these guys just go to the PFL and try it? Yeah. Right. Mark Madsen, that guy's going to be fun to watch. Nothing else.
Nope, there's really nothing much.
Something I learned from
after Wednesday, the hype will start to get there a little more after the press conference because you might start to feel it then.
Something I learned from Fernanda about Brazilian fighters, when they have a nickname like Inya. Like there's Serginho, Lavinia. There's a couple other people like that. The Inya means little.
Oh.
So it'd be like little Olivia or like little Sergio or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you want that? They're like, it's a cute way of calling somebody. That's all. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And that's another thing actually about 246. Normally by now, I'm excited to see the embeddeds. Oh, yeah, like I know they have. I don't know if they've come out yet. I don't think they've come out yet. But I would be like, all right, give me the embeddeds already. I want to see this.
I stopped with the embeddeds. I just got bored with them.
I still do it for big fights.
Unless you have a fun personality, then it's boring.
I miss the Dana blogs though.
Yeah.
Remember when it was just following him around for a couple like minutes a day?
Yeah. Yeah, there is nothing much.
O'Malley drug test.
After next week, we'll be getting back into the thick of the shit. So
yeah, the following week after that is JDS and Blades.
Yeah, there you go. That's a fun fight too.
Rose Andrade 2.
Yeah, that was the one. Jeez, that's on the Ferguson card.
Yes. I'm
just like, why are they announcing fights for this card 3 months out?
So far,
it's too far out.
Yeah, there's nothing else. Bandejas, Luis Pena's back. This Daquan Townsend guy, did you see this? He tested positive for cocaine and fentanyl.
Yeah, I know.
But it was like retroactive to his last fight, so he can still fight it. I'm like, why are they releasing this now? What the fuck? Oh yeah, Josh Emmett got pulled out of the Allen fight. That was supposed to be on the 246 card as well. That should have been fun. Trinaldo McDessie, not a bad fight. Yeah, it's just a whatever fucking card.
No.
Or his slate of news. Yeah, I don't even want to know. Like, we haven't even done deciding splits. There's no I want to get back on that.
So hopefully, but next week there's a bad split decision.
Hopefully, it's not the main event.
There's always a split decision.
I always find obviously the more traffic is always garnered towards the higher profile fights. Yeah. 100%. So I guess the higher profile the fight, the more traffic. So I guess
Conor Conor
Cowboy.
Split.
Let's do that. I hope they go to a split decision so we can fucking.
And Conor gets a win there. Oh god! And then everyone thinks Cowboy won. That's going to be ridiculous.
Rematch. So he might actually get the 3 fights in, do an immediate rematch in like fucking July.
Cowboy. But then if it's a 5-round fight, it'll probably be a war. If it's a split decision.
They can fight in July. That's 5 months. Yeah. 6 months.
Not Cowboy, that's probably too much fighting. But for Conor, he could do it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for this fucking episode. I don't want to drag this on much longer.
Yeah.
No deciding splits this week.
Oh yeah, we'll have plenty to talk about next week.
We'll do that next week.
The lull is over.
But then there is 1 week lull. again after the
Yeah, but
JDS
that's
fights
okay.
card.
But we'll be
And
back
then
into the
8
thick of
straight
things.
fucking events right after that.
But we'll be back into the thick of things at least. Like
it's a
right
double
now,
card actually.
it's like
January 25th. Bellator that night too. A couple of their featherweight fights. So that should be fun. So we'll have a lot to talk about at that point. All right. Subscribe, like, leave a comment. You guys know what the fucking drill is. We'll see you guys next week.